Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gents. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Customs for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. And special little announcement here. So, of course, if you guys watched the live customs for LEGO Marvel's Avengers, first of all, thank you to all of you who tuned into that. You guys are absolutely incredible. But the same will be happening with LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I just wanted to go ahead and make another episode to let you guys know that that would be the case so that you would be aware. So that means that later on this week, on Sunday, you guys will see a live stream for Star Wars customs, whereby for like an hour and a half or so, we'll be building a whole bunch of different custom characters together. So that should be a whole bunch of fun, and I hope to see you guys there to hang out and check that out. So, what are we working on today? Well, today I decided that I would pick two very super uber duper difficult characters to build, because these are two characters that many of you guys have wanted to see for a while now. I'm really nervous about this one, so let's get to working on it. And it is the Joker and Voldemort. Yes, Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. Oh, yeah. This is going to be totally, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, nerve-wracking, because I have no idea how we're going to build either one of these characters, but we're going to give it a go. You guys wanted to see those characters, so we're going to try it, and we're going to try to pull it off in some sort of a compelling way. So, with that in mind, first and foremost, let's begin with the Joker, because I think we may have an easier time with him, but now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, that probably is a lie, because I have no idea how we could have an easier time building the Joker based on what we're looking at right now. So, Joker. Let me see here for a moment. Are there any heads that we could use? Nope. Any head colors that we could use that are a little bit more specific? Nope, not really. Okay, how do we do this? Joker. I'm almost thinking like the biggest issue with the Joker right now is, of course, the iconic hair. The green hair is simply not here. So no matter what I do, it's not going to look as much like the Joker as it could, because we simply don't have the appropriate hair piece to utilize. So because of that, we're going to need to improvise no matter what. Now, typically speaking, a lot of the comic book designs of Joker use this hairpiece. They just color it in green. So I think we will still use that hairpiece, except we're obviously going to have it in black because, well, we kind of have to. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cycle through some of the different faces that are available here, and we'll see what we could possibly maybe apply to this particular face to utilize. Right now, I'm not really seeing anything that's kind of springing to mind. We could use that because it's got that little frown between the eyebrows. So I might use that. Yeah, let's use this, right? Perfect. There we go. Joker. Joker here. It looks like nothing like him. Ooh. No. I thought at first it looked good, but then when I kind of like concentrated, I was like, that doesn't look that great. Maybe that? No. I'm really not seeing anything here that's even relatively similar to the Joker. So I knew this would be tough, though. I knew as soon as I saw this choice, and I've seen it over the last few episodes. It wasn't like just now I just like noticed, oh, people want to see the Joker. But I honestly, the main reason why I didn't want to do it is because I just knew it'd be super duper tough to build, and it's proving to be exactly right. Okay, so I think we're going to cycle through and go to not that one. What was the other one with the little frown? Maybe that? No. That one has like a little bit of... there we go. We'll go with that. So again, I obviously know the face. Not anywhere close to the Joker, but we have to work with what we have, and that's about as close as we could get. So, outfit-wise, what do we have that's purple that could work? Oh, not much. Not much at all. This and this, but these are both outfits that belong to General Leia. I think that's probably the closest right there that we would get to the Joker. So let's give him some long sleeves, purple sleeves. And then for the legs, I think we'll go with something maybe a bit darker. I'll go with the hips, still purple, but the legs themselves Just maybe like plain black? No, I don't know if that will work. What did the Joker wear in... What kind of leggings did he have in The Dark Knight? I think he had purple pants still, didn't he? Because he had like dark purple pants. Dress pants, of course. But still pants. Maybe that'll look cool. Ooh, I kind of like the way that looks. The purple there? Dude, I think that looks good. We'll go with that. We're going with it. We're going with that design. Now, as far as weapons go, I think for the Joker, we could just give him just like a black... No, that's too much. He shouldn't have a staff. Ooh, actually, wasn't there one of the weapons like dual-wielding... let me see. There we go. Actually, I had it right away. Boom! We'll give him the knives. Since we're going for somewhat of a inspired design by The Dark Knight, he had all those knives, remember? So, boom! Perfect. We'll go with that. Lowercase... And Joker here, ready to rock. Whoops, there we go. And there we go. All right, clear, 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 and clear. All right, so the Joker is complete. Again, I knew this would be difficult. That's why I'm like trying to get through this one, through this particular design as fast as possible. Because I honestly think Voldemort is going to be a bit easier to do since there are more fitting components that we could use for him than there are for Joker. So that's why we're moving on to the one and only Voldemort. All right. So first and foremost, face color. I think that probably something like this. Well, actually, first and foremost, what I should have done was remove the helmet so we can actually look at the character. Right? So there. Now, the other thing that's going to be tricky is figuring out a character that has like some sort of somewhat of an intimidating face, but at the same time, we want something that where he doesn't have like a nose. So that'll be another key component. Then again, I'm realizing a lot of them don't have noses. Oh man, that would have worked really well, but we need the eyes to not... Well, I don't know. Actually, maybe that would work. All right, that's not bad, to be honest. I think that might be our best option, to be quite frank. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, the Emperor one works pretty well as well, but I feel like Voldemort has like a smoother skin, so I feel like this one's a bit more fitting, and I like how it has the eyes. Like, I wish the eyes would have a little bit less skin showing, like skin color showing. We could cycle through real quick just to see if there's anything better. There we go. Perfect, Voldemort. Yay, we nailed it. Or maybe that one right there. That would be great Voldemort design. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else that would be better than... Ooh. That's actually pretty good, to be honest. Dude, that's not bad. I'm kind of surprised that the Kylo Ren design is what is looking somewhat good. I wonder, let's see. If we change the face color just a wee little bit to something like that... That's aqua. I don't know. That doesn't sound right, but it looks a little bit better than the medium stone gray. What about that? No, that's just plain white. We don't want it to be just like purely white because it wasn't really white. Let's try the aqua, actually. We'll try the aqua because I think that that will be a little bit more fitting for the character. But now that face doesn't work nearly as well. So let's see if the Vader face looks better. Yeah, this is really tough. I feel like the Kylo Ren face works better because it's more stern. So we'll go with the Kylo face. Now, here comes the... Ooh, actually, maybe there's a head that we could use. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, there we go. Boom. That one. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So, I can't decide. I honestly, I keep looking at it, and then I'm like, I keep changing, thinking maybe we should go do this. But I feel like that's too dark, honestly. That face is like way too dark if we go with that one. So let's go with the aqua. We'll see what it looks once we, or what it looks like, sorry, once we're out of here. All right, so he kind of wears like robe, right? Kind of like this fancy schmancy robe. So I think that his outfit should be pretty easy to nail. Maybe like light gray. And then he has, I believe he's got his hands just like exposed. Now, since we're making the face aqua, let's make the hands a similar color as well. So it kind of is showing in that regard properly. We just need something that's like gray as far as the design of the hips go. So something like that. And then the legs, I think he's got the robe covering up the entire outfit, so I'm not really sure what kind of, like, pants he would wear. So because of that, we're just going to pretend like it's the rest of his robe. And we will try to get it to match by picking something. Ooh, maybe like that. That's not bad. Yeah, because it kind of looks like the rugged pieces of the robe, right? Like hanging down. So that's actually pretty good. I like that too. All right, so now weapon. This will be really important. Oh, man. This is really tough because we want to give him basically just a wand, right, as his main weapon. But the problem is there's nothing that looks like a wand. I mean, all of these are just way too huge. I mean, that kind of looks like the wand that he has because it's got, like, the pointy end. So that might actually be our best option, to be honest. As goofy and as silly as that looks, I think that might actually be our best option. I mean, we'll cycle through all of them just to get an idea to make sure that we know clearly what is the best. Nope. Ooh, I've never even noticed this crossbow thing. Looks cool. I guess we could go with that, too. That's kind of fancy looking. Yeah, you know what? I actually think that that might be our best option. Honestly, as silly as that looks, that might be our best option. All right, so here's the tricky part. I honestly do not remember I'm guessing L, right? Whoops, why did I go all the way there? I honestly don't know how to spell his name properly, so if I mess this up and I botch this, I apologize. I really am not doing Voldemort. I think it's a T, right? It's not Voldemort. Or is it a D? I think it's Voldemort, like that, I think. Oh, yeah, I probably misspelled that. I probably messed that up really badly. There's the code, by the way. I also did show you guys the code for the Joker design that we built before. But now it is time to go on ahead and exit our customs realm and take a look at the two characters. I'd love for you guys to vote on which character you like best. Plus, of course, do not forget, guys, please try to make it to the customs live stream that we'll be doing for Star Wars. Hopefully, it'll be a whole bunch of fun, just like the Marvel's Avengers one was. And I hope to see you guys there. But before we wrap things up, let's take a look at our design. So here's the Joker. Again, I think that if we could change that hairpiece to be... Oh my gosh, dude. I literally made like a huge error, didn't I? Nope, we're not done. Why did I not change his face color? I'm literally looking at him like, oh, I should have made his face white. Like, I don't even know why I didn't do that. I literally don't have any excuse for why I didn't do that. I just don't know why. I completely blanked out, I guess. Whoops. Let's see. Head color. White. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's much better. I don't know why I completely forgot about that. That's a pretty important detail, obviously, about the Joker. But if we could have changed the hair color to be green, I honestly think that wouldn't be such a bad-looking Joker design. Like, that's literally the only component I think that is very, very, very crucially missing. Other than that, I think that this is honestly not such a bad design of the Joker. I think it actually turned out way, 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 way better than I thought it would be, because I thought it would be nothing like the Joker, and luckily, it's really not quite that bad. So here's Voldemort with his absolutely oversized staff. I guess it's not really a staff, it's a wand. Well, it's supposed to be a wand, but it is a staff. And he's looking pretty menacing. Look at that. He's got a very scary face, and look, he's casting Avra Kedavra, so he's ready to rock and roll. And then you got the Joker right there. So we got two absolutely crazy villains for what will most likely be the final episode of the non-live versions of Customs. So I hope to see you guys there again for the Customs live version. So with that in mind, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope to see you guys there. Peace out. See you later. Alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.